Another sequel to The Ring? Is Samara crawling through the Sega Genesis this time? If so, she's gonna be pixelated as
Whole lot of shit wrong with this first sin. I mean, you mentioned the movie The Ring, but you say Samara, meaning you're referring to the absolutely inferior American remake. Her name is Sadako, goddammit. Not only that, pixel art is severely underappreciated, so eat my shorts.
22 golden Cheerios circling your logo will not deter my hatred of this 48-second waste of my life. It only makes me hungry, and I don't want to get up to snack.
Referring to the Sonic rings as Cheerios, that's worth these many sins.
Jesus, Sega, you think you have enough clout to sport a long-ass Marvel-style opening logo at the beginning of your movie? I have to say, that's some chutzpah. Especially for a system whose second-best movie adaptation is... what is another Sega game adaptation? House of the Dead? Holy you guys should not be leaning into this self-serving logo this hard.
That logo is quite literally showing their popular video game franchises, not anything about their movie adaptations. Considering how stellar this movie was, this logo is just the beginning in what is hopefully a successful run of films and shows based on Sonic and their other game properties. Come on, Power Stone.
So, I know what you're thinking.
Wow, you knew that I was thinking that starting your movie at the end, only to rewind and show how I got here, and actually start the movie a few minutes later was a cheap and lazy storytelling device?
I'm trying to figure out how this is cheap and lazy. Like, what does that even mean? You would think showing the climax of the story and then properly building up to that moment is the opposite of lazy. But you know what is lazy? Calling something lazy without properly explaining why it's lazy. That's why I call your fans lazy. They take you at your word and never question what you say simply because you have 9 million subscribers. That's how the Nazis took over Europe.
And I never had to catch a school bus because I could run across the entire island in less than 2 seconds.
True, Sonic can go wherever the hell he wants on this island. Which makes me wonder, who else besides his maternal figure and the butthole arrow guys live here? That's a pretty fucking big island for just a few people.
Or the movie simply shows you what is important for the story and not what is important to the random question-asking CinemaSins guy. Like seriously, who the hell cares about the other inhabitants of Green Hill Zone? This is Sonic, baby!
Also, there was no school. I know, pretty sweet island, right?
Education shaming.
Isn't that what you do every single time you upload a video? Or am I getting that confused with the mind-numbing ignorant things you say in those videos? You can see how intelligent people might confuse the two.
Sonic, someone could have seen you.
No one saw me. I'm too fast.
If Longclaw doesn't want anyone to see Sonic run, maybe rethink the structures of this island that are very clearly tailored to Sonic's powers. Who else is going to zip through a loopity-loop or rocket up this ramp without dying?
First of all, what does Longclaw have to do with the structure of the island? You're saying this as if she built it. And second, the island isn't tailored to Sonic. Sonic is tailored to the island. And third, Sonic's name is a reference to supersonic speed, meaning, as he said, no one should be able to see him because he's faster than the speed of sound.
You have a power unlike anything I have ever seen. And that means someone will always want it.
Mentor character spills super important shit about main character's powers, but only on their deathbed cliche.
I'm almost certain Knuckles and his band of misfits didn't actually kill Longclaw. I mean, where are you getting that she died here?
Also, maybe Longclaw should warn Sonic about accidentally shedding his Hedgehog needles, because this ends up being the only way anyone can access his unlimited power.
You literally heard her just say she'd never seen anything like Sonic's power.
You have a power unlike anything I have ever seen.
How the hell could she warn him about his quills if she'd never seen this power before?
Why does every parent have to die in an animated kids movie? Did Walt Disney's disembodied head have a secret meeting with his staff and any future directors of animated films and threaten them with his evil psychic powers if they kept one alive?
Again, where are you getting that she died there? Aren't you the creator of CinemaSins? You know, the guy that points out movie cliches for a living? What is the golden rule of film? If they don't die on screen, they aren't actually dead.
Also, okay, even at 296 miles per hour, Tom would be able to see Sonic approaching and running by, especially on a flat stretch of road like this. That's fast, but it ain't that fast. 296 is IndyCar fast, and you can clearly see them shits during a race. Hell, if he couldn't see him coming, he could sure see him going since he's looking right after him.
If, say, an airplane flew by at 300 miles per hour, you'd easily be able to see it, right? The reason is that it's a large object. But now, think about a baseball. The fastest pitch ever recorded was over 108 miles per hour. Looking at a pitch at that speed from the side in real time, it's almost impossible to see. And now we're talking about a 2-foot hedgehog going nearly 3 times that speed. The only thing the human eye would see at that speed would be a faint blur, and that's if they didn't blink.
Also, Tom clearly went to the Fantastic Four school of picking up potentially alien things with your bare hands as soon as you come across them. Sure, he's no scientist, but he is a lawman, one who just went through a rigorous application to be an actual police officer.
Rigorous. Also, he has no reason to believe that this quill is alien in nature. I always wonder why you do this. You always seem to forget that the characters in the movie do not realize they're in a movie. When you suggest that this is an extraterrestrial quill, to him it could be a part of a costume or a piece of material from the local hardware shop. The vast majority of people on Earth do not immediately jump to aliens when they find something they've never seen before.
This is implying that the turtle wants to go fast. Turtles are down with being slow, man. Haven't you ever heard about the f***ing tortoise and the hare? Or at least seen a Comcast commercial?
I'm pretty sure this turtle has seen the movie The Hunt, in which case he hates the story about the tortoise and the hare.
Wait, even if he can run fast? When did we ever get the indication that Sonic could speed read? And sure, maybe he's just blowing through them since he's read them before, but that's just bad comic booking.
That's precious coming from you. Besides, if Sonic can run at supersonic or even near light speed, his perception would also have to be at that level. Otherwise, there's no way he could react in time to avoid obstacles whilst running.
I understand he has to keep hidden, but this is starting to get legitimately creepy. I don't care if he is an alien hedgehog. He's also a hormonal teenager watching a beautiful woman do yoga from behind.
But you are literally showing Sonic also performing the yoga pose that she is, meaning he's not perving but practicing. Geez, is the mere fact that a woman is in the presence of a man cause for alarm? What kind of incel shit were you on in high school, Jeremy?
There is one person in town who's actually onto me.
One person who is on to blue streak zooming out of my ass in broad daylight, Sonic. At this point, the entire town would believe in the Blue Devil, and his legend would have advanced to the point where parents were telling their kids to go to sleep or the blue streak will zip out of the darkness and steal your toys.
No. This scene deserved a sin off for this magnificent drawing. I mean, the Sonic movie officially recognized the Sonic meme? The only thing more meta than this is some random dude with a cartoon avatar sending a YouTube channel that sends movies.
It's gonna be tough to leave my hometown and all my friendships.
Even if I hadn't seen this movie before, I would definitely know this speech is a fugazi. God, I really litter this entire fucking movie with obvious moments like this that take it from being truly awesome to just being watchable.
Pronouncing fugazi as fugazi, also suggesting that this movie is only watchable and not truly awesome.
I guess this kid has the same shine as Jacob Tremblay's character in Dr. Sleep. Hope he doesn't have to walk 2.5 miles home through a cornfield. I hear that's pretty dangerous.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference.
Sonic gets sad and runs around the bases until he causes an EMP. No, I totally remember that being part of the original game.
Yep, just like Longclaw, the Echidnas, Tails. Wait, you mean to tell me all these other things we commonly associate with Sonic also aren't in the original game?
This guy is something else.
Or girl. I mean, we know it's a guy, but at this point it could be a girl or an it.
Mushroom Planet, here I come. Oh no, they're right outside. I gotta go somewhere else.
The fact that the enemy is right outside is the very reason to activate the portal ring and go through immediately. Good plot device, God.
What Sonic is trying to say is that the ring doesn't close immediately. Earlier in the movie, you saw the ring stay open for a bit when Sonic escaped Green Hill Zone, meaning his pursuers could potentially follow him through.
Meow?
I don't know, I think he'd look less threatening if he had a giant set of teeth. I demand that the effects team go back now and fix the design so I can watch the Sonic of my dreams, damn it.
I'm adding 30 cents for you citing the fact that the effects team respected the fans enough to make the character true to the source material. That's like unironically liking Space Fart Galactus.
I'm not in the mood to get probed.
Why does Tom immediately assume Sonic is an alien? Sure, he can talk and doesn't look like most animals or humans, but he's got pretty fucking animal and human-like features, and is even wearing shoes. Why wouldn't he think he's at least from a weird part of Earth, like Ohio?
Joke would have been much more salient if you said Japan. Also, anyone else find it weird that Jeremy implied Tom should have known the quill he found was alien in origin, but now that he's face-to-face with an exotic creature, he questions why he jumps to alien? And by weird, I mean contradictory, hypocritical, and stupid.
You're from the power company? Oh, you must know my buddy Spencer. We play softball together.
Spence. He's a good man.
Even as socially awkward as he is, there's no way an actual genius like Robotnik would fall for an easy trick like this.
Not necessarily true. Robotnik's problem is that he's a narcissist. He doesn't even believe that people with lower IQs could outsmart him, so he takes things they say at face value.
Why are there multiple scanners up in the attic? It's a pretty big house, right? Not to mention that there's a lot of land outside that the perpetrator could have escaped to. They need a hard target search, damn it. They should be checking every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, henhouse, outhouse, and doghouse in that area.
Jeremy makes a The Fugitive pop culture reference that isn't a
God damn it, another movie with armed drones. If Bad Boys for Life and Spider-Man Far From Home have taught me anything, it's that I hate f***ing armed drones.
Did you really decide to watch a Sonic movie and not expect to see Robotnik's robots?
Can you believe Amazon is gonna deliver packages with these things?
Topical humor that will be outdated by the time this movie hits the basic cable networks.
Considering you can already watch this movie on demand and Amazon is still not delivering things with drones, especially because I have yet to receive my new camera, I'm calling shenanigans. Also, I can't be the only one to notice the irony of calling out dated references while at the same time mentioning cable.
Okay, pal. Out you go.
So you're telling me that Tom assaulted a government agent, escaped certain death with the help of Sonic, loaded up in the truck and absconded with what he thinks is an alien creature, drove all the way out of town, and once the alien tells a perfectly plausible alien story, he tries to kick him out of the truck? The kind of reaction is this?
Personally, I thought Tom's reaction, while a smidge over the top, was perfectly reasonable. Listen to his reasoning.
So, I'd like you to take me to San Francisco so I can get back my rings and use them to go to the Mushroom Planet.
Mushroom Planet.
Yes!
Okay, pal. Out you go.
I'm sorry, what?
Look, this is the worst possible time for me to get myself into trouble, okay? You asked me to save your life, I saved your life.
So, as I crashed into the cold, dark water of the Pacific...
Okay, look, I need to know how fast Sonic is. Montana's a big state, but even if they're on the far west side of it, it would be at least 400 miles each way to reach the Pacific Ocean. And radar previously clocked him at 296 miles per hour. But he did this at least 800-mile journey in seconds. Just let us know what his powers are, movie. We can handle math, I promise.
It's apparent that you can't, because the movie just gave you all the variables you needed and you still can't calculate his speed. It's basic algebra. Let's assume their starting point is Missoula, one of the most western cities in Montana, and that he went to Cannon Beach, which is one of the closest Pacific Ocean beaches to Montana. According to Google Maps, that's 482 miles in a straight shot. Next, we need the time in which it took him to go there and come back. According to my watch, that was roughly 5 seconds, meaning it would take him 2.5 seconds to travel 482 miles, or just over 190 miles per second. In other words, Sonic is capable of 684,000 miles per hour, or 891 times the speed of sound.
I'm wet, I'm cold, there's a fish on my head!
I could buy that he's cold, but there's no fucking way he's still wet, or that the fish would have stayed on his head during the journey, considering the speed he was going.
It's best to suspend your disbelief with speedster characters in films and comics. Seriously, at the speed Sonic was just moving, he would have annihilated everything in his path, but somehow his old sneakers aren't even shredded. You're watching a movie about a talking blue hedgehog. Just go with it, dude.
Well, he's actually 43 years old and suffers from a very rare skin disease that makes him look like that.
Also known as the Scooby-Doo in obvious and terrible disguise defense, which has worked a shocking amount of times.
Listen, man, if you were confronted with a real-life person who was shorter than average and had a different skin color, I'm certain you'd at least try to be a decent fucking human being towards them. Oh wait, you're from Tennessee.
And now that I'm leaving Earth forever, I guess I missed my chance.
But why leave Earth forever when there are so many places to relocate? He could say anywhere on Earth and start over. New Delhi, Whistler, Eggendorf, Churchtown, Branson, fucking Missouri, for all I care.
But the point is that he will always be hunted on Earth. Jesus, Jeremy, do you not realize how small the world is now? The only two things faster than Sonic are the internet and shitty takes on Twitter.
Okay, first off, no one notices this bullshit. This bar is full of belligerent large drunks, and no one notices the supersonic dart throw or the damages to all those Corona extras.
Says no one is noticing this while showing a scene of someone noticing it. Classic.
I don't care that the movie's ripping off a bunch of other movies that do this supersonic sequence, but I do care that there's not enough time to take a selfie with this asshole. The speed at which Sonic is traveling would mean the aperture would be relatively open for this entire stunt, not taking a full photo this quickly.
This isn't necessarily true. First of all, you mean shutter, not aperture, as the aperture is always open on a camera. And shutters on most modern camera phones can reach a speed of 1/8,000th of a second, meaning while Sonic is fast, the camera most likely could capture an image of him as he still isn't moving faster than light.
Also, here's one of the main issues with this scene in general. Sonic creates this Rube Goldberg trap for everyone in the bar except Cyclops. Like he's done this hundreds of times. Like with Quicksilver and X-Men, we figured he had pulled some of these pranks before and had honed his craft. Do we think Sonic's ever done something like this?
Considering the math we did earlier, yes, motherfucker, we do.
Thomas Wachowski, accused of committing an act of domestic terrorism.
Holy sudden volume increased news position, Batman. This TV has such perfect timing, it has to be on the plot to frame Tom.
For a channel that does nothing but talk about movies, it's a wonder how you don't understand them. Clearly, the movie is suggesting that Tom wasn't listening to the TV until he heard his own name. You mean to tell me you've never zoned out and then heard something that piqued your interest?
Judging by the quickest route to San Francisco, the approximate speed of their vehicle.
Hang on, how the hell did Robotnik know they were going to San Francisco? Even though they threatened the big dude at the bar, he didn't know where the hell they were headed. Maybe there was a deleted scene that showed someone in the bar who knew, fuck it. They just didn't give any thought to this, did they?
That's good to know, that you consider plot beats that were within deleted scenes as valid. Maybe that'll placate your ridiculous fanboys that come here to complain about me using them in future videos, or whenever they watch my Return of the Jedi video. I'm not going to send you for this, but I'll still make the ding sound so we can move on.
Oh, sweet. It's that vintage Sonic maneuver where he blows it up by rolling into a ball. I actually think that's part of the game, but I honestly don't remember, since I was either too young or too high when I played it to remember the details.
Sinning Sonic's rolling attack, something you could have easily Googled. That's worth these many sins.
If I don't make it, just ditch me. You seem good at that.
God, adolescent Sonic is almost as big of a dick as Teen Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right, the way Jeremy stopped speaking there sounds as if I edited the next couple of words out, but I can assure you that is the original edit, which means he originally said Teen Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but edited out movie because he realized Teen Groot was only a thing in Avengers Infinity War. 9 million subscribers and they can't even do a retake.
And thus begins a hilarious vintage Jim Carrey sequence, which wouldn't look out of place during his stand-up heyday back in the late 80s. And it's so good to have this off-the-wall Jim Carrey back that I have to remove a sin. Having said that, this is total...
Nope, I'm going to stop you right there. You removing a sin for a pretty great scene and then immediately giving it right back for that same scene is the same thing as sinning it in the first place. Sure, the sin counter remains the same, but not the sin counter in our hearts.
I have human smelling salts in my human first aid kit.
First off, why does Maddie, a veterinarian, carry around a human first aid kit that's accessible at a moment's notice?
Because Maddie, a health professional, is a human being herself, and being a health professional would recognize the benefits of having a med kit handy. I mean, I have a med kit, and I don't know shit about human health, especially considering the ungodly amounts of hot Cheetos I consume.
This faux goodbye takes so long that they could have had time to send an invitation to Dr. Robotnik via snail mail, have him RSVP, show up for some tasteful yet evil formal attire, then gather up his troops to meet them all at this location.
While writing skip for this sin, I realized what you were saying was completely different to what the subtitles were saying. I mean, you said show up for some tasteful yet evil formal attire, but your subtitles read shop for some tasteful yet evil formal attire. Clearly, the latter is the only one that makes any sense.
Robotnik should know better than to cause Sonic to do his Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pose. Jeez, now he's gonna reignite that long gestating Sega Nintendo feud.
I know what you're thinking. Was that even a sin? The answer to that question is obviously no, but that one of the writers at CinemaSins just wanted to tell everyone they've played Smash Ultimate. In that case, I challenge you to a Smash match, whoever wrote this sin. I play Link, so it should be easy.
Lost visual contact!
Dr. Eggman relies so heavily on his robotic superiority that I find it impossible to believe he doesn't have an energy sensor diddly-whopper on his dashboard that would give him the upper hand throughout this entire chase sequence.
Calling Dr. Robotnik Eggman.
Son, just don't.
Why in the goddamn hell would Sonic lead him back to Green Hills? Sure, the menfolk are tough and the women are true and stern, but what about, like, space? Can't Sonic survive in space? Can he lead Robotnik to an entire other world before now? Why does it have to be Earthbound? And why the hell does it have to be Green fucking Hills?
If you were paying attention to the scene prior, you'd have heard Sonic clearly state that he couldn't lose Robotnik. The rings work by creating a portal to wherever the user is thinking of, meaning in that moment, Sonic can only think of Green Hills, which is as good a place as any.
Sweet. I mean, I don't know why he had to go all supersonic to send Robotnik to the Mushroom Kingdom, especially considering all he needed was a ring. But given the circumstances, I guess I'll celebrate like Doc Brown at the end of Back to the Future. Yeah!
Get out.
Are you in charge here?
Yes, I
Nope.
am. Yes, I
Nope.
am.
Wrong.
Yes, I
Nope.
am.
I'm in charge.
Is
Me.
Major
I'm in charge.